Hey everyone, it's Allie and welcome to my channel. Today we are doing another little fireside chat. I'm so glad you guys have been enjoying these videos. One day I'll run out of topics, I'm sure. But today I actually had planned on doing a different video, just like an unboxing of cottagecore items. So I'm still doing that video, it'll be on Friday. But I have been feeling a great sense of what we're going to be talking about today lately, and so I figured I would just kind of go ahead and make a video about it and tell you what I'm going to do about the B word, which in today's case is burnout. So, you know, we've all been having a hard few years, isn't that the truth? But I feel like over the last half a year or so, I have been in almost a constant state of overwhelm, anxiety, and that is for many different reasons. Basically every area in my life, things going badly. Lots of good things going on too, but you know what I mean. Sometimes you just go through these periods of life where you're dealing with a lot of stuff. And unfortunately, I feel like I've been in one of those periods for quite a while now, and I managed it better at the beginning, but I have kind of let myself get too disorganized, too all over the place, and that has resulted in me, I would say especially over the last month, just feeling very like all the time. Like I have noticed a decrease in motivation to create videos, a decrease in motivation to list and sell, to write. Basically in all areas of my life, I'm struggling a little bit because I have been feeling so overwhelmed. Like I said, not just about the things I do for my career, my creative career, but also just general life stuff, worrying about people. I'm a big empath, which I wish was a choice. I think sometimes people think if you say like, oh, I'm really empathetic, you're like humble bragging that you're just really nice. But if you are a true empath like I am, like you cannot help but take on other people's emotions and problems and burdens. I very much wish I didn't have that issue, but you know, there's a lot of other people in my life going through some stuff, so I kind of take all that on mentally as well. So I've just been feeling really overwhelmed in my brain, and I feel like over the last couple of days I was like, enough is enough. I need to grab hold of my life once again and do something about it, because many of the things that I'm going through, that other people in my life are going through, I can't really do anything about it, but I can control some things, and so that is what I am going to be focusing on. So before I get into what I am going to be doing starting right now to better my life, improve my mental health, I would like to just kind of talk briefly about burnout, and if you're not interested or you're like, I know all this, whatever, you know, you can go ahead and skip to what I'm going to be doing. But I figured it would be useful to talk about. So I'm actually just going to be quoting a lot from this like Healthline article I found, because I feel like it sums it up a lot better. And a lot of times when I make these videos, I find that I didn't say everything that I wanted to say. So this will help keep me on track. So kind of like I've been saying, this says, your brain and body can only handle feeling overworked and overwhelmed for so long. If you consistently experience high levels of stress without taking steps to manage or reduce it, exhaustion eventually takes over. So yeah, as I was saying earlier, this has been building in me for a while, and I feel like it has kind of come to the point over the last few weeks where I have just really struggled to want to film, to want to write, to want to socialize, to want to do anything. And that's when I'm like, okay, you know, we gotta do something about this. And I am the type of personality that gets overwhelmed very easily, so this has happened to me many times throughout my life. And I know I can always get myself back on track, but for me, unfortunately, sometimes it takes hitting kind of a really rough spot to do something about it. And this says the same thing. Since burnout happens gradually, you might not notice symptoms immediately, but once it takes hold, it can affect your ability to function across all aspects of life, career, social, whatever. So in case you were thinking, maybe I'm going through some burnout as well. Some key signs of burnout include forgetfulness and difficulty concentrating, diminished pride in your work, losing sight of yourself and your goals, difficulty maintaining relationships and being present with loved ones, frustration and irritability with coworkers, which my husband can definitely attest. I've been getting really annoyed with my coworkers, aka my dogs, lately. I feel like I'm just kind of at that point where they do anything and I'm really annoyed. So that's kind of my frustration with coworkers. And unexplained muscle tension, pain, fatigue, and insomnia. I definitely manifest stress, overworking myself in fatigue a lot of times. Okay, so it is really important to identify why you are feeling burnt out, why you are feeling so overwhelmed, so you can make some changes. And for me, I know it is being too disorganized with my work schedule. I have really struggled over the past year or so that I've been doing all of this to not work all day. I kind of wake up, immediately go on my phone, check YouTube Studio, and then I might start a load of laundry or, talk to my husband for a while, and then I might do some more work and then take another break. And I just end up like working, taking break, and I end up working like all day. So I'll talk about it later in the video, but one thing that I am 100% forcing myself to do is have working hours and not working before or after my work hours. You might also experience burnout when you are dealing with relationship problems, especially ones that seem to circle with no resolution. And I can definitely say that I have been having some friend problems over the last couple years that right along with this, it says seems to circle with no resolution. So I absolutely understand that. And also caring for a loved one with a serious or chronic health condition. That can be so emotionally taxing as well. And of course, my biggest flaw is just trying to do too much is going to lead you to burnout. I am super, super guilty of creating really nice to-do lists every day with big goals, and I can almost never complete everything that I want to do in a day. And that is not a good mental feeling to leave things on your to-do list, not because you weren't working all day, but because you just gave yourself too much to do. So I am going to be working on being better about that, telling myself what the absolute priorities are for that day, and being okay if not that much else gets accomplished. So in general, some ways that you can work through burnout is to identify immediate changes you can make, talk to people you trust, examine your options, do your best to take back control, set boundaries, and practice self-compassion. I think that is a very good one. And just pay attention to your needs in general. It's also important that you try to remember what makes you happy. I think gratitude journals can be very, very helpful with that. And also, talk to a therapist. I would highly, highly recommend going to therapy. I will probably start looking into going to therapy myself. I've always kind of resisted it, not because I don't think it's super effective, but because that is my degree. So I've always kind of felt like I know what I would say to myself, but there is so much benefit to talking to a neutral, non-judgmental person, even if you know what they're gonna say. It is so, so helpful. So I would recommend to you too, if you know a lot about mental health, maybe you have worked in the career as well, and perhaps you have resisted going to therapy because of that. I do have a mission of starting to go to therapy this year, so I would encourage you to as well. All right, so I did spend some time today writing down kind of a better routine for myself, because I think for me, that is my biggest issue. I would have what my friend Cassie has deemed creative ADD, where I just want to do so many different things, and I have such a hard time not trying to do all these different things because I just have such a passion for all of them, which is wonderful, I think, but also can leave me feeling very overwhelmed, which leads to burnout. So I think the problem that I have identified is that I haven't set clear enough boundaries for each thing that I'm working on. So of course I have this YouTube channel, I have my reselling business, which I am always trying to grow, and I also have a few other YouTube channels that I'm trying to get off the ground, which I'm very, very excited about. And I also write, which is the thing that I've neglected the most, but which honestly brings me the most joy. And I am also doing some career consulting on the side, and I hope to grow that little business as well. And in addition to that, I volunteer in my youth group, and I sit on the board for a local nonprofit. So it's just a lot of smaller things that really add up in my brain to feeling very overwhelmed. I feel very, very scattered a lot of the times. I'll start one thing and in my head is like a completely different thing that I'm thinking about. So I think what I've done will work pretty well for me. So first of all, I know that I need to have a better morning routine, because right now I basically have no morning routine. So I am holding myself to this. I already had a conversation with my husband today, like,
please hold me accountable.
Because I think that is one of the hardest things when you work for yourself, when you work from home. There's no boss standing over your shoulder making sure that you stick to what you're doing, that you're showing up and leaving work when you're supposed to. So it can be hard to enforce that with yourself. But all right, so my morning routine is to wake up at 6:30. I think that's a very reasonable time for me. And I'm actually going to do the thing where I put my phone like in my bathroom or something, close enough that I can hear it in the morning when the alarm goes off, but it will force me to actually get out of bed. I struggle to get out of bed in the morning. And then I will have my lemon water, trying to become that girl, right? And just do a little 5-minute stretch, just get my body moving without too much effort, too much time. And also in the morning, instead of looking at my phone, which is something I majorly struggle with, I am going to read a chapter of some kind of self-help book, nonfiction, something that will start my day off in a productive mood, something that will get my mind right. And going along with that, my faith is a big part of my life, but like my writing, you know, sometimes I go the whole day and I'm like,
did I even pray? Like, what have I even done today?
So starting the day with the daily readings and going through a devotional or going through a reflection and keeping a journal where I can just jot down some general notes from that, I think will help just start me off on the right foot. And I also plan on doing my workout in the morning. I push that off a lot, and a lot of times I want to just kind of chill and do nothing or go to the movies or something with my husband in the evening. So I think it would be just so much better for me if I can get that workout done in the morning. And then this is something that maybe if you work from home or if you're another creator like myself, you struggle with, and that is just getting dressed. So many days I am wearing pajamas, what I went to sleep in, or at the very least I'm wearing like a sweatshirt and sweatpants, and I want to get a lot better about putting outfits together, because I really do love fashion and styling, but I hardly ever like try to look cute because it just doesn't seem to matter, but mentally it really can help you so much. And then I'd like to begin my workday at 9 a.m. just like I would if I was working a normal desk job. So I think reasonably it might take some experimentation with the timing, but I think I should be able to do all of that from 6:30 to 9. And this, I think, is going to be the really big winner for me, hopefully. I'm really praying that this works out. So I'm going to divide each day of the work week by topic, basically. So that way my mind can be focused on one thing, one area the whole day, and I know that all the other things I'm working on will come another day. So for example, Mondays are going to be basically my Poshmark day. I already do most of my sourcing on Mondays anyway, and so I will be forced to get up. The first thrift store opens at 9 a.m., so I will be right on track. So I'll do my sourcing in the morning, come home. I am going to give myself an hour-long break every afternoon from 12 to 1 to go on a nice half-an-hour-long walk, as well as have my lunch. So I'll come back, have my lunch, and then all Monday afternoon I will basically create drafts for my Poshmark for the entire week. So that way, all I have to do is hit publish on like 5 or so items every single day for the rest of the week. I think that will be very manageable for me, at least for now. I can always reassess, but that is my plan for Mondays. And then Tuesdays will be a complete filming and editing day. Wednesdays will be a big writing day for me. I do already meet one of my good friends to write. We end up chatting most of the time, but I am going to devote the whole day on Wednesday to writing. Thursdays will be another filming and editing day for me. Fridays, a lot of times we do travel, so I wanted to keep it pretty light. So it might be a little bit of catch up, but it will also be more writing and then just general planning for the next week. And then daily, of course, I will be listing. So like I said, I will be creating all my drafts for the week on Monday, but I will just have to go in and like hit publish. So that will just take me a few minutes. I also would like to write for at least like 15 minutes every day just to get the juices flowing. But like I said, I will have 2 full days basically devoted to writing, so I'm not super worried about that. I also want to be more consistent with my Instagram posting. Starting January of this year, I actually decided to really take a step back from social media, which you guys might not have even noticed, because when I'm saying step back, I mean mindlessly like scrolling through people's Instagram feeds and watching like all the stories and stuff. So pretty much now when I go on Instagram, I post and then I get off. And I cannot tell you how helpful that's been for me. And so I do apologize if you guys send me DMs. I really don't check my DMs anymore. If you want to like leave me a comment, please do it on the actual YouTube video, because I do my best to respond to all of them. But just for my own mental health, for my own sake, I just don't really look at DMs anymore. So again, I do apologize. It's not that I don't want to talk to you guys. It's just kind of what I have to do to keep myself healthy and on track throughout my day. But with that being said, I do want to have a better plan for when I'm posting, because I know a big part of growing on YouTube is, you know, having a good Instagram account as well. So you might not even know, but I do have several different Instagram accounts. I have my main one, which is just my name, and then I also have like a fitness one that I have a YouTube channel attached to, as well as a book one that I have a YouTube channel attached to. And if you go on my main Instagram page, you will see links for all the other different things if you ever want to check them out. So yeah, whether I post a post or a reel, which, oh man, I gotta get better at those. I don't really like creating them, but I know the shorts, the TikToks, the reels, it's a very important part of growth. So I need to like mentally get past the hurdle of I just don't really like doing them and just do them because it's part of the job, right? So whether I post a post or a reel, I want to post on one of my Instagram pages every single day. So each one should end up having 1 or 2 posts a week. Also every day, just kind of answering the YouTube comments. As I said earlier, not really checking DMs, but I will be answering the YouTube comments. So I will check those every day and answer, as well as ship items. Hopefully I will have items to ship every day. I usually do. And answer any emails. So those are kind of just the daily to-dos that I will probably do kind of in that like 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. hour, just to kind of keep myself more structured. And then I really plan to finish working by 5 o'clock every day. And then in the evening, you know, normal housewife stuff, do the laundry, do the dishes, do some cleaning, and spend some time with my husband, friends, and family, because those are the things that often get canceled because I'm editing or whatever until 1 a.m. And then I just will have a very basic evening routine. If you're curious, I do wear the Apple Watch, and I think they're great. Such a wonderful tool, almost especially because I can put my phone away so I won't be distracted by social media and all of that kind of stuff. And if someone calls me, it will come through on my watch. So I can either answer right on my watch, or I can go find my phone and answer it. But if you're unfamiliar, Apple Watches have like general calorie movement ring, an exercise ring, and a standing ring. And so my goal is just to close the rings every day, which I should be able to do pretty easily between a walk and a workout and a little stretch. And then I would very much like to have my phone away from me by about 9 o'clock and just spend about an hour before bed reading and in prayer, and hopefully I will be snoring by 10:30. Just kidding, I don't snore, but Ryan does. But yeah, I think that this will work out for me. I know everything takes time to build, so I will give myself some grace. I'm sure it won't all go perfectly, but I know that I do better, and I know that most people in general do better with a lot of structure. So if you've been struggling and you notice a lack of structure in your life as well, I would highly recommend just taking a half an hour. Like, that's how long it took me to do this. Just take a half an hour and figure out how you can be more disciplined with yourself. But all right, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know, have you been struggling too? Sometimes it comes in waves, and I think we all struggle a bit during winter, and as we come out of winter and as we come towards spring, we get a new sense of motivation and renewal. So I'm very aware of that within myself as well too, that I do tend to struggle in the winter time, but I am going to try to form these habits, and I probably will do a follow-up video in about a month or so, maybe show you a day in the life or my morning routine and just let you know how this is all working out for me. But I'm really excited. Literally just the act of writing this stuff down, I immediately felt relief in my brain. And you guys probably know the feeling too. That's why the gratitude journals can be so wonderful. That's why just keeping a journal in general can be great. It doesn't have to be pretty, it doesn't have to be perfect, but just that act of jotting stuff down is a true mind dump and can give you a lot of relief, so I would highly, highly recommend. But I do hope you all are doing well. You're all always in my prayers every day, you're in my thoughts. I do think of you guys very fondly. I'm so grateful for you and for this community. And yeah, I do hope that you enjoyed this video and maybe got something out of it, even the feeling that you are not alone. We all go through rough times. But thank you guys so much for watching. If you did like the video, I would appreciate if you would give me a big thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. I make videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Usually, sometimes I miss a video, but I do my best. But thank you guys again for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye.